Sonia, so far Ryne has not made his way to the podium. He is in the building, though, and he'll be up here in just a few seconds. And he will presumably tell us exactly why he is calling it quits in the middle of the 1994 baseball season. We all know it's not been what the Cubs had expected in 1994, and Ryne certainly is not doing his normal part in the Cubs' success either. He's one of his last 28, batting only .238 so far this year, and really has struggled. You know, Ryne Sandberg, though, has been a tremendous baseball player here in Chicago throughout his career. He burst onto the scene in '84 when the Cubs won the Eastern Division Championship. Those 2 home runs against the St. Louis Cardinals and Bruce Sutter put him on the national map. He went on that season to win the MVP award. A terrific offensive player. 40 home runs, his career high, but also a tremendous defensive player as well. 9 Gold Gloves, the most ever by any second baseman. Ryne Sandberg, an all-star in the game at Wrigley Field, an all-star on a perennial basis throughout his career, but did not play the last 2 games here at Wrigley Field against the Dodgers. Had sat out because Tom Trebelhorn said he needed time to reflect on his particular situation. We all thought that meant the slump that he was going through. As it turns out, it may have meant reflect on the decision to end his baseball career here in Chicago. Certainly he wouldn't play for anybody else this year, so his baseball career in general would be over at this point, I think, as well. Huge group of media assembled here, ready for the announcement, which should come in just a couple of minutes. Ron Santo, the Cubs WGN radio broadcaster, was first to break the story this morning. Received a call, then called Ryne sometime after 7 o'clock today and talked to him on the phone, and he indeed confirmed the fact that he would retire. Didn't elaborate on why, but he did say that there were more reasons than just baseball. So we're about to find out exactly why that decision has been made. Larry Himes making his way to the podium here. Ryne Sandberg right behind. Cindy Sandberg, Ryne's wife, is with him as well. And the news conference about to start, one that shocks everybody in Chicago, certainly. Ryne Sandberg retiring from baseball. Here we go.
Attention will now get started. Basically, this is Ryne's press conference, so I'm just going to introduce Ryne Sandberg and his wife, Cindy.
Well, thank you all for coming today. Looks like everybody's here. I just wanted to read this statement that I had and then elaborate a little bit on it after that. Ever since March of this year, I have had the mindset that this was going to be my last year. However, I don't feel that I'm currently performing with the focus or to the standards I expect from myself and what is expected by my manager, coaches, teammates, the Tribune Company, and most of all, the Chicago Cub fans. I am not the type of person who can be satisfied with anything less than my very best effort and my very top performance. I am not the type of person who can leave my game at the ballpark feeling comfortable that my future is set regardless of my performance. And I am certainly not the type of person who can ask the Cubs organization and Chicago Cubs fans to pay my salary when I am not happy with my mental approach and performance. Therefore, I am here today to announce my retirement, effective immediately. I wish the very best to the Chicago Cubs organization, Mr. Cook, Larry Himes, Tom Trebelhorn, the coaching staff, and my teammates and friends. Most of all, I thank the great Cubs fans for their support and affection they have shown me since I arrived in Chicago. I will always feel a part of the Chicago Cubs, and I will miss you. Ever since I made up my mind that this was going to be my last year, which was sometime before spring training, it seemed like some of the things that helped me become the player and be the player that I am and was kind of left me. The edge that it takes to play, the drive, the motivation, the killer instinct, all these things that I have had since coming up through the minor leagues, which is a total of 17 years. All these feelings that I've had, and it's been a part of me on the baseball field, I felt like I didn't have. It ended up taking me just about 2.5 months to realize that, thinking that maybe one day it would come back, but it really never did. And you know, I'm very proud. The 13 years that I spent here, I feel like I've given all of me to the Chicago Cubs, not only during the baseball season, but all year round. And this is a special day for me. It's as special as opening day of 1982. You know, I feel that with the feelings that I did not have, I thought that I feel like that's what I need to go out on the field each day to give my very best and live up to the standards that I have set for myself. And I'm not willing and do not want to just hang around. I want to be the best player that I can be, and you know, with all these feelings and emotions not being there, I have found that I am not able to do that.
Ryne, where did it come off the tracks for you? Where did you first start noticing that you weren't able to have the same concentration, the same feel for the game?
Well, it's just been gradual since spring training, the start of the season. I still feel that the dedication was there, the hard work. But in the back of my mind, I knew that this was going to be my last year. And with that in mind, and always on my mind, which I feel became a burden on me, I just didn't have the drive and the edge that I've always had since I've been here.
Ryne, why did you decide this would be your last year? What made you decide prior
Well,
to the season
the Ryne Sandberg press conference continues here at Wrigley Field. Ryno has
a lot of
indeed
different
retired from
reasons.
baseball. His career as a Cub
Family
coming
is
to an
very,
end
very
after
important
12 plus
to me and
years.
always has been.
And the reason is very simple.
I have
He
two
felt that he
kids
was
that,
not
will
giving
be starting
enough
college
to
in
the
5
baseball
and 7
team to
years.
warrant them paying his
I thought it
contract,
was
so
time
he
for
has
me to
quit the game. You hear the
with
term
them,
consummate
and just
professional
enjoy
thrown
them
around Major
and,
League sports. This would certainly seem to
more
be
a part
one
of
of the
their
most
lives.
professional moves that anybody has ever made in any
And,
sport. He wasn't earning his salary, or so he felt. And so Ryne
it's
Sandberg
been,
has
been
retired.
13
We'll have
full
much more on the
years,
story tonight on the
17
news after the White Sox-A's game.
full
For now,
years
live at Wrigley Field,
baseball.
Dan Roan, WGN News.
Dan, this has been a really tough year for Chicago sports fans. First the Jordan retirement and now Sandberg. What do you think this is going to do to the city's morale, the sports morale, I guess I should say?
Well, I can tell you right now, the morale on this side of town is not very good at all to begin with. I mean, the Cubs are playing horrible baseball, and this can only dump them into the throes of a situation that's even going to be
Well,
worse
I've been
than it
through
is
losing
already.
streaks.
You
I've
know,
been through,
I would just like to say
and,
that you know, Sandberg has been
I've
one of
been
the
through
true
slumps
white
every year,
knights
and I know how
on the
to come out
Chicago
of slumps,
sports
so
scene, a
that
guy
part of it,
untouched by any drug
you know, I don't
scandal
think
or
that it's-
drunken driving conviction or
I don't think
family
that's a
trouble
major
or
part of
anything
it.
like that. Throughout his years here, he has been one of the
I
most
feel like
clean players in
I would
baseball,
need
and
to
certainly
have
one of the
that
most
drive and
productive
the
players in
motivation
baseball at
and
his
the edge
position
that
of all
I've had
time.
and the
And it's
aggressiveness
a sad day to see him go, especially under these
you know,
circumstances.
to